Okay, this question would be on the non-calculator part of your exam if you had one like this. Again, it's in degrees. I can get the cos squared x by itself and get 1/2. And this is where this question is going to tempt you with something. Is 1/2 on your pie plate? It is. But we haven't got cos by itself yet. We have cos squared. So we can't use the 1/2 because we don't have cos by itself. Next, how would I get rid of the squared? I'd square root. Square root both sides. Yeah?
I thought we were going to do the x. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was x that was squared.
Yeah, it's the whole thing that's cos that is squared.
I thought it was x.
Okay, now I purposely made a mistake. Did you see it? Did it bother you? Or did you not see it? Would you make the same mistake? The plus or minus. And we get this number. Which, again, you see the half really obvious. And you're going to be tempted. But the half on your pie plate, does it have a square root around the whole half?
Yeah.
No. So we have to use a little bit of our skills to work with this. Okay, our skills with square roots. Did you know that a square root of a fraction is the same as the square root of the top over the square root of the bottom? And the square root of the top, well, what is the square root of 1?
1.
Just 1. Is that on our pie plate? Sort of. Do you recognize that this is the same as root 2 over 2? So sometimes the 1 over root 2 shows up in a question and you still have to recognize it as that root 2 over 2. And now we've got our pi over 4 or 45-degree family. This question's in degrees. It's plus or minus, so it's all the quadrants. And I solved between 0 and 360, and the question, yes, is between 0 and 360. I don't know if you're like me, but if I do it between 0 and 360, then I read the question and they change the domain, I'm kind of like, I'm like, come on. Really? Just wanted, I solved it already. Now you're going to force me to do extra work? So I was really happy that this one didn't, okay? But it's a really good question because there's places along the way that are going to tempt you. There's lots of easy places to lose marks in a question like this. For one, you get tempted by the 1/2. If you jump too soon to the 60-degree or pi over 3 family, everything goes wrong. Okay? Secondly, we have the squared. Could forget that plus or minus. That actually costs you a whole mark because you missed 2 of the answers. Usually plus or minus is only a half mark, but in this case, because you lose 2 of your answers, it comes out to a full mark. And then, it has the 1 over root 2 form. So if you don't recognize that, then you might be tempted to do the 1/2 again. So there's lots of little things in this one that can catch you off guard. Questions for practice on this one are 5 and 11. And for 5, I want you to just change the instructions a little bit. I want you to just solve between 0 and 2 pi. I think number 5 says, can you verify that this answer is right? If you actually solve it, that will be one of your answers. And you will have verified that it's right. But you will also find the other answer as well.